My name is Rosa. I'm the artist in resident here at the Peninsula Hot Springs, and I'll be spending a week here, culminating in an artist talk on Friday the 18th. My practice is quite diverse. I have found myself really responding to sight, and there's something about being invited into a new environment and having the trust where I can sort of go with where things evolve. My practice is very much about deep listening, so sometimes I'll engage with people on site and have these sort of random conversations. My background, I'm Spanish Australian, born here in Australia, and there's something about community that is very embedded in my practice. My parents set up the Spanish Club back in the 1960s, and I found myself creating permanent artworks in public space, mostly in Melbourne, within the community centre. Creating work here at the Hot Springs is very different to what I've ever done before. The fact that I have the chance to be on land, be on country, is very important. My process is cutting. I find myself mostly taking photos or drawing or painting, and you might see me sort of on the grounds with a multitude of scissors and sort of cutting implements, and I think I'll end up creating, well, at this point, like a collage of sorts, which might show what, who I've met or what I've been doing while I'm on site. There's something very important when you give an artist time. The culmination of the week means that I will be asked to do a presentation of sorts about my practice, and given that my work has sort of touched on public art, creating sort of permanent pieces, then the second half of the presentation will be about, well, what has happened during my stay here. Being the first visual artist on residence is very, very special, and it enables me to offer, I think, trust to anyone that comes in next, and that we have to use this experience to our fullest capacity. The heart of the matter is that I'll be able to walk, I'll be able to talk or rest, sit on land and do my cutting and enjoy the beautiful environment. I've been here almost a week on beautiful Bunurong country, and I've written some things that have enabled me to reset. I've been exploring what it means to slow down and become porous, observing, reflecting and responding. And in a way, it's a rare ecology of stillness. Art for me is to practice attention, and what nourishes me often goes unnoticed in my work. I've been reflecting on the idea that my practice begins with listening to land and to stories and materials that are at hand, and the forms that I've been shaping have in a way enabled me to stay in the present. It was the first project that I was invited to be involved in was to assist a woman in Melbourne, her name is Penelope Lee, and she was asked to create a body of work or an artwork that in essence was about the game of football. And rather than create a statue about a football player, she decided to celebrate the object, which is the actual Sharon football. So I became involved in this project. It took one whole year to dissect thousands and thousands of footballs. And my job was to cut them apart, and we used every aspect of the football and created a large public art piece. And to this day, it's still at the NCG. It's made up of repetitive patterning, and so that's when I became aware that I love to cut, and it doesn't really matter what it is. The footballs was the beginning of my journey.